Hi, welcome everyone. In this session, we will discuss on user and operating system interface. An operating system is a complex piece of software that manages hardware, but for it to be truly functional, it must provide a way for users to interact with it. We call this the user interface, which essentially acts as the front door to the operating system. Behind this interface lies the kernel, the core of the OS that handles all the heavy lifting. Generally, we categorize these interfaces into three main types: the command line interface, the graphical user interface, and the touchscreen interface. Let's begin with the command line interface, or CLI. This is the oldest and one of the most powerful methods of interaction, allowing users to enter commands directly via a text-based terminal. On many systems, the CLI is managed by a special program called a shell. It is important to note that the shell is not part of the kernel itself. Rather, it is a program that runs when you log in. Popular examples include Bash and Zesh on Linux or Mac OS and Command Prompt or PowerShell on Windows. The primary function of a shell is command interpretation. It waits for user input, parses the command string, and then executes it. This execution happens in one of two ways. First, there are built-in commands, where the code for the action, such as cd or dir, is contained within the shell itself. Second, there are external programs. In this case, the shell treats the command as a file name, searches for it in a list of directories known as the PATH, loads it into memory, and starts its execution. For instance, when you run a Python script, the shell finds the Python executable and passes the script to it as an argument. While some might find text-based interaction daunting, the CLI is preferred by power users and administrators for its efficiency and support for scripting, which allows for the automation of complex, repetitive tasks. Second type of interface is the graphical user interface, or GUI. Most users are very familiar with this model, which uses visual representations instead of text. Most GUIs follow the WIMP metaphor: windows, icons, menus, and a pointing device like a mouse. Originally pioneered at Xerox PARC and popularized by Apple and Microsoft, GUIs are now standard across almost all platforms, including Linux environments like GNOME or KDE. The primary advantage of a GUI is discoverability. Users can explore menus to see available actions without needing to memorize specific command syntax. The third dominant interface is the touchscreen interface, widely used on smartphones and tablets. While it is a form of GUI, it relies on gestures rather than a mouse. The operating system must recognize actions like taps, swipes for scrolling, and pinches for zooming. Because physical keyboards are often absent, these systems provide virtual keyboards and frequently use haptic feedback, small vibrations, to confirm user actions. Additionally, many modern interfaces now include voice user interfaces, or VUIs, like Siri, Google Assistant, or Alexa, which allow users to request services using natural language. When considering which interface is better, it really depends on the task at hand. Casual users typically prefer the ease of GUIs and touchscreens. However, system administrators often prefer the CLI for its speed, remote access capabilities, and automation. Most modern operating systems adopt a hybrid approach, offering both powerful graphical environments and robust command line tools to provide the best of both worlds. In summary, the user interface is the vital layer between the user and the operating system services. Whether it is through a command-driven shell, a visual desktop metaphor, or a gesture-based touch system, the interface ensures that the underlying power of the kernel is accessible and useful. Thank you for your time. See you in the next session. Bye.